Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get set for the NNSCRA Mudsummer Classic special event here on YouTube. Getting ready for the qualifying races for our main event later on this evening. 46 drivers have signed up for this event, but only 30 will take part in the main event race. So we're getting set for our qualifying races. This is going to be the first of two qualifying races in which there will be a 23-car field. Top 10 finishers in each of these two qualifying races will make their way into the main event. That will leave us a total of 26 drivers that will take part in two LCQ races. In those two LCQ races, 5 drivers will transfer from each one, the top 5 finishers in each one, and that will of course give us our 30 truck starting lineup for the main event race. 30 laps of racing here in our first two heat races, and as mentioned, 23 trucks will be in each respective heat. There will be no caution flags here in these first two heat races. There probably will not be in the LCQ either, but there will be in the main event. Front row is going to be Tristan Allen in the number 3. Alongside of him, James Qualls in the 0. We'll have to see if good starting track position is going to help these drivers out or not. It's really going to come down to, I guess, being in the right place at the right time, especially if you're in mid-pack to the rear of the field, because you're going to have to try and get yourself at least up there inside the top 10 at the conclusion of this heat. Without further ado, let's go down trackside and get those most famous words in motorsports as we get ready to get our first heat underway.
Drivers, start your engines.
Right side of your screen will show you the 23 trucks that are taking part here in the first heat race. And as the pace truck will lead the trucks around here for their one pace lap. Going to be very interesting to see how these trucks are on the dirt. It's been a long time since I've actually done a dirt track race with a special event. And it's been a while since we've been at Eldora too. I'm trying to remember the last time we were at Eldora, and I think it was back in the Hershey's Cup Series. Pace truck makes the left-hand turn to pit road. 30 laps of racing here in the first heat race. Who's going to finish in the top 10? Green flags in the air. Let's roll. I should also point out, too, that the winner of this heat race will start on the pole for the main event. And the top 10 finishers will start on the inside line of the first 10 rows in the main event as well, as we've got a challenge for the lead already. That's Austin Boyd on the inside. Gonna have to get used to saying that because I'm used to an Ashlyn Boyd being in my series. But this is Austin Boyd instead in the 18. Battle for second. Jordan Lopez to the inside of Tristan Allen, who started on pole and already has fallen back to the third spot. May fall into the clutches of Alex Lozano. Nice to see Lozano back here in a series on this channel. And right behind him is going to be Carson Gum, that 19, that Jacob Kraus, number 19. Little contact right there between himself and the 4 of Alex Lozano. That was close, as he'll now move into the 4th position, will Carson Gum. Meanwhile, up towards the front, Austin Boyd enjoying a pretty comfortable lead. Best battle right now is for 3rd. That's Tristan Allen, Carson Gum duking it out. See the 29 down there of Mitchell Collins. He just made a move on James Qualls. That was for 6th place. Carson Gum firmly now in control of 3rd. So far, we've been able to keep it clean as we're looking at the 7 of Cammie Wellstone. First time that Cammie has run in an event on this channel. Nice to see some people here that are still interested in Enter 2003. Some newcomers, new names that I've not seen before. Proves that, at least for the moment, Enter 2003 offline is not dead. Alex Miller in the 15 right now in the 8th position. And then this is where we need to really keep an eye on. Charles Belding right now in 9th, and now moving into 10th place is Eli Bright. This is the final transfer spot into the main event, courtesy of this heat, and they are 3 wide for 9th place. That is Matt Haas in the 8 down on the bottom making that move. The 13 of Adam Garcia starting to close in. Right now, this is the battle for 10th between Belding and Bright. That's the 6 of Cody Smart back there, that K&N Auto Parts Ford F-Series, and he is now going to move into 11th, bypassing Charles Belding. 28 of Trey right there as well. Little contact perhaps with Adam Garcia. Move a little closer to the front of the field. This is the battle for 7th between Miller, Wellstone, and Matt Haas. Matt Haas is going to get by Wellstone for 8th. Further up, good tussle going on here. This is for the 3rd position, as Carson Gum just got around Jordan Lopez for 2nd. Now sets his sights on trying to reel in Austin Boyd. Woo, 16 of Lopez got a little loose there. Drifted up the corner, and now that opens the door for Tristan Allen to take 3rd. Mitchell Collins looking for 4th. And it looks like he will get it off of turn 4. Almost halfway through this heat already, and now Mitchell Collins wants another position. Looking for 3rd place off Tristan Allen, as Carson Gum has really picked up a lot of spots here in this heat so far and trying to chip away at Austin Boyd's lead, that time by lost 2/10. The one thing that I'd be worried about if I were Austin Boyd is possibly catching the tail end of the field. Jessica Shelton right now in the 23rd position. She just went into turn 1, and the leader crossed the line when she was over in middle of turns 1 and 2, so Boyd is quickly catching in to the tail end of the field. Shelton off of 4, Boyd into 3. So yeah, he's going to catch the tail end of the field, and got a number of drivers back here struggling. Jessica Shelton, Vince Almriego there as well. James Qualls, who started outside of the front row, has drifted from 2nd all the way back to 21st in the first half of this race. Bobby Frazier back here in one of the Young Motorsports trucks. Trey Wright back here along with Joshua Osborne, Zach Winkle. There's Eli Bright. We saw him up inside the top 10 moments ago. He's back to 15th. Actually make it 16th as Daniel Voiles just took the 15th position away. Charles Belding has now fallen back to 14th. Jay Jefferson there in 13th, Shane Lake in 12th. And then you got Adam Garcia right now in 11th as the 10th position currently being held down by Cammie Wellstone. We'll have to see if someone can reel him in. Austin Boyd, you can see, is closing in on the tail end of the field, and that could be helpful for Carson Gum to maybe start to close up the gap. Mitchell Collins firmly in control of 3rd. Best battle right now is going on for 5th. Matt Haas and Tristan Allen. Matt Haas going to take the spot. Battle for 7th between Alex Lozano and Cody Smart. Smart trying to get that inside line working, and we got a battle possibly brewing for 9th between Alex Miller and Cammie Wellstone. Wellstone does not want to be in 10th place because right now he is the hunted. Everybody else behind him wants that 10th spot because it's the final ticket into the main event. Right now, the 11th spot currently held by Jay Jefferson, who's in a bit of a fight with Shane Lake. So if these two concentrate more on each other than getting up there to 10th place, then Wellstone might have his way of getting into the main event. I had that little reaction there because Shane Lake almost lost it off the corner, almost got up into Jay Jefferson's left rear quarter panel. Cammie Wellstone letting Alex Miller kind of stay a little bit ahead, so as of right now, I think he's pretty content to ride where he is. He's got a pretty good gap back to this battle for 11th, so he might be okay, especially with the fact we're only going to have 8 laps to go in a few moments. Battle for 3rd could be brewing between Matt Haas and Mitchell Collins. Wanted to jump up, make sure Austin Boyd hadn't yet caught the tail end of the field. Hasn't quite yet. This could actually be a 3-way battle for 2nd. Mitchell Collins is closing in on Carson Gum. Matt Haas closing in on the both of them. And remember, these drivers here, right now what they're doing, they're battling for the 3rd starting spot in the main event. They're not necessarily going to win this heat, but they will transfer, and this is who would start 3rd, 5th, and 7th as to where the 19, the 29, and the 8 finish. And Austin Boyd has caught the tail end of the field. That's James Qualls, Jessica Shelton just up ahead, as well as Vince Almriego. So is that going to hold I did it. Almost did it. Is that going to hold Austin Boyd up and allow Carson Gum to close in? What's an over 4-second lead? 3 wide here. And Austin Boyd's going to bypass the both of them. So that basically ices it that Qualls and Shelton will not transfer in this heat. They'll have to rely on the 2 LCQs later on. And now the best battle is going to be for second place, as it looks like Austin Boyd is firmly in control of winning this heat. Carson Gum, Mitchell Collins, and Matt Haas going to mix it up. Should follow up on 10th place because it actually changed hands. Cammy Wellstone got around Alex Miller, sent Miller back into the 10th spot, and now Miller has to try and keep the distance between himself and the 24 of Shane Lake, who right now is in 11th. Alex Miller trying to get by Alex Lozano here, stick Lozano back in to the 10th position, as you just saw the white flag, I believe, was in the air. Yes, it was. White flag was in the air, just taken right now by Austin Boyd, who got around Vince Almriego. So Austin Boyd's going to come off the final corner, and he's going to win the first heat. He will be the pole sitter for the main event. Dominating performance there. We got to drop back to 10th place, though. Oh, look at this. Shane Lake. Can he get to by the 4? This is for the transfer spot. Off the final corner, drag race half truck length is going to move Lozano into the main event. Shane Lake comes up just short. He almost got it. And so Shane Lake's going to have to rely on the LCQ, the 2 LCQs actually later on. So the transfer positions are going to be Austin Boyd, Carson Gum, Matt Haas, Mitchell Collins, Jordan Lopez, Cody Smart, Tristan Allen, Cammy Wellstone, Alex Miller, and Alex Lozano. Standings should be official, and there they are. So from 11th on down, Shane Lake, Jay Jefferson, Adam Garcia, all of them, they're going to have to rely on the 2 LCQ races. And they will be joined by another 13 drivers that will not make it in the upcoming second heat. So without further ado, don't go anywhere. That second heat is coming up right now. Coleman LaJoy, another driver that we have never seen before in an event here on the SI Sports Channel. He's the pole sitter for our second heat alongside of Cole Deaver. And then it's Benjamin Miles and Freddie Soto. Your second row, as same rules apply, 30 laps, top 10 transfer, no cautions. Heat number 2 is underway. Three wide back there for around the 3rd position. That's John Cittadino in the Norm Benning Special going to the 2nd spot. Right behind him, Benny Watson, trying to make a move for 3rd on Cole Deaver. Looks like he'll get the position away as Zachary Fitzwater now going to go for 4th place. Behind him, you've got the 94 of Jeremy Hawkins, another new name. And the driver that's really drifting back right now is Benjamin Miles. Miles started 3rd. He's all the way back to, I think it's now 7th. And Coleman LaJoy is not getting away. John Cittadino is very quickly closing in. So we could maybe have more of a battle for the lead here in the second heat than we had back in the first heat, as Hawkins now slots into the 4th spot ahead of Fitzwater. Cole Deaver finally gets down into the 6th spot, and behind him, Kev Shearer in a good battle here with the 87 of Carter Friesen. That's some contact and a half. Good Lord. Kev Shearer and Cole Deaver going at it. Kyle Matthews right behind them saying, hey, you guys settle this out whatever way you want. I'm going to try and get ahead of you. William Brock now moving by Carter Friesen, who just fell back to 10th, and now he's under fire from the 54 of Nathan Ormond. This is for the 10th spot, the final transfer position, that bright yellow 88 of Ryan Brommer right there as well. And now Cole Deaver, after that contact with Kev Shearer, now can't seem to hold the bottom, and he's going to get bypassed by Nathan Ormond. That now moves him back into that final 10th spot, and here comes Brommer looking for it. Matthew Logan there in the 42, starting to close in as well. Speaking of closing in, 0.6 of a second separation from Coleman LaJoie back to John Cittadino. And a good battle here for 4th place between Benny Watson and Zachary Fitzwater. Looks like Watson's going to hang on to the spot as Fitzwater nearly drifted up into the wall off turn 4. Kev Shearer's got a lot of company. William Brock, Kyle Matthews right there, as well as Nathan Ormond. That's 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Matthews going to try and go for 7th on William Brock. It's all about throttle control. You can hear these drivers lift, throttle, lift, throttle, lift, throttle. That's exactly how you got to take these corners here. You cannot full throttle it, and you really can't drift through the corners either. Kev Shearer, I think, just brushed the wall off of turn 4. Battle now for the 9th position. Actually, make that 8th. And here's the battle for the final transfer spot. Matthew Logan has it. Ryan Brommer wants it. Whoa! Logan, hang on to her. Look at that car fishtail off of turn 4. Meanwhile, back in 12th, you got Carter Friesen. Right behind him, Samet Ozkan. And then behind him, Matt McIntyre. All these drivers trying to get up there towards the top 10, which right now is being held onto by Matthew Logan. We're almost halfway through this second heat. Up towards the front, still about 6 to 7/10 separation between Coleman LaJoie and John Cittadino. Really actually surprised to see that Coleman LaJoie has been able to hang on to the race lead, because the pole sitter from last heat did not win the heat. That was Tristan Allen. He did transfer, but he did not finish P1, so I was actually expecting that maybe Coleman LaJoie wouldn't be able to hang on to the race lead, but he's been able to. But that last lap, John Cittadino just ran his fastest lap of the race with a 17.078 and cut it down by 0.2, the gap between him and the 60 truck. And again, continues to close in. Look at this, 0.4 now. Well, it stayed about 0.4. Coleman LaJoie just ran his fastest lap of the race. So apparently he's feeling the pressure of that 57. Now in turn, like the drivers back in the first heat were battling for who was going to start where on the inside of the respective first 10 rows, these drivers are battling for who's going to start on the outside of the respective first 10 rows. So right now, Coleman LaJoie would start 2nd in the main event. John Cittadino would be 4th. Jeremy Hawkins 6th, and on back through the field. We just had a exchange for 9th place. Matthew Logan just got around William Brock, so now Brock is the one that everybody's trying to chase. Ryan Brommer right there in 11th place, trying to reel him in, and it may actually be a battle for 9th again, as Brock says, nope, I'm not happy being in this spot. I want you to be back in that spot, to Matthew Logan. 6th place on back have lost touch with the top 5, who are pretty well spread out. Well, as soon as I say that, Jeremy Hawkins has done a pretty yeoman's job reeling in John Cittadino for 2nd place. Might have taken that corner a bit too wide, though, and going to lose some ground to that 57. And as this battle for 2nd is brewing, Cittadino's attention seemed to be less out the windshield and more in the rearview mirror. I love looking in the windshield, because you watch these drivers fighting the wheel as they try and keep the truck straight, especially coming off the corner. Kev Shearer just dropped back into the 10th spot as both Logan and Brock got around him, and now Samet Ozkan trying to knock Kev Shearer out and move his way in. This is the battle for the final transfer position between the 34 and the 77. Remember, it came down to half a truck length in the last heat race as to who was going to transfer in and who was going to have to go to the LCQ. It may be even closer here, as we almost had some contact there between Ozkan and Shearer. And Samet Ozkan is going to take the spot. Kev Shearer now drops back to 11th. Handling on that truck does not look like it's what Kev Shearer wants. And now Samet Ozkan going to go for even more real estate. He's going to take 9th away from William Brock. So now William Brock drops back into the 10th position. Cittadino closed up the gap again between himself and Coleman LaJoie. Don't know if we're going to have a battle for the win here in the closing stage or not, but it's looking like things are really bunching up here from 7th on back, so we could have a pretty good battle for the final transfer spot here. William Brock trying to get back to Samet Ozkan. Kev Shearer waiting to see what happens. Carter Friesen and Ryan Brommer back there in 12th and 13th, but they might be too far back to do anything about getting into the main event here. Because there's only going to be now a total of 3 laps to go when the leader hits the line. The leader is closing in on the tail end of the field. Logan York there, Benjamin Miles. We're about a straightaway ahead of the race leader who just hit the line. 3 laps to go here at Eldora. Citadino and Hawkins, they look like they're good. Benny Watson looks like he's safe. Same for Fitzwater. Logan looks like he's pretty safe. Right here is where the interesting battle is going on. Samet Ozkan just got passed by Kev Shearer. Shearer in, Ozkan out. And at this time, Kev Shearer needs to do a little bit more mirror driving than anything. Just got to hit his marks. Samet Ozkan got by him once. Can he do it again? White flag was just displayed for the 60 of Coleman LaJoy. What a way to make your debut on the channel than to be starting on the outside of the front row for the Mudsummer Classic main event. Coleman LaJoy will transfer with the win. Let's go back to the battle for the final spot. Kev Shearer still got it. Samet Ozkan nowhere close. Kev Shearer is going to get the final transfer spot into the main event through this second heat race. And the others that will transfer, I'm French, that will transfer into the main event. Oh, look at this! Kyle Matthews just spun William Brock. That's interesting. Not sure what that was all about, but the others that will transfer will include John Citadino, Jeremy Hawkins, Benny Watson, Zachary Fitzwater, Matthew Logan, Nathan Ormond, Kyle Matthews, William Brock, and Kev Shearer. So Matthews and Brock, they're going to have to deal with each other in the main event. This, whatever this thing is. I don't know if it's a rivalry or a miscommunication or what, but it was very interesting. Gives us a storyline to spin off of, and those two will meet in the main event race. So Samet Ozkan, first man out, 11th. He, along with Friesen, Brommer, Soto, McIntyre on back, they will have to rely on the LCQs coming up later on. So we know at least the drivers that will start 1st through 20th in the main event. Question is, who's going to start in spots 21st through 30th? Well, sit tight, folks, because your 26 driver 2 LCQs are coming up right now. Alright then, here we go. 26 drivers here in our first LCQ. Top 5 will transfer into the main event. And then the remaining drivers will take part in a second LCQ, in that the top 5 drivers will transfer in the main event, and that will be it. It's Adam Garcia and Vince Almriego, the front row, as the green flag is in the air. Again, no cautions, 20 laps of racing here in this first LCQ. Get Fred Soto back there in that 99, trying to make it 3 wide under Jacob Thibodeau in the 30 truck. Bobby Frazier right there as well. There's Samet Ozkan, the 77, who just missed out on transferring in via the second heat race. Some names up here that we haven't talked about yet that were at the rear of the field in their respective heats. The 33 of Austin LaPlante right there. You can see the Ream Machine. Got some others back here too. There's the 39 of Johnny Gardner. He's now moving by Almriego for, I think that was 6th. Whoa! Almost contact between himself and LaPlante there. And a battle for 6th place there. Up front, battle between a couple of Thor Sport teammates. Freddie Soto's got the spot. Adam Garcia wants it back. Here's your battle for 3rd. Bobby Frazier up top. Samet Ozkan down low. And right now in the final transfer spot would be Johnny Gardner. Now he'll put Bobby Frazier back to that spot as he'll slide by for 4th. 10 of Joshua Osborne now fighting his way up here into the 6th position. Getting by Eli Bright. Corey Williams right now in the 51 in that 9th position, right behind Jacob Thibodeau. And here comes Carter Friesen, who just took the 10th position away from, I believe that was Austin LaPlante. Charles Belding right there in the mix as well. And there's Zach Winkle in that 5 back there as well, that Mike Skinner truck. Friesen just moved by for 9th, so Carter Friesen charging his way to the front as right now, here's your battle for 5th. Gardner has it, Osborne wants it. And we may be 3 wide for 4th here if they're not careful. Osborne will take the spot. Now he will move by Bobby Frazier. That's for 4th. Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Adam Garcia will slide by his teammate and go back to the top position. So Soto drops back to 2nd. Battle for 3rd. Osborne to the inside of Ozcon. And here's 5th place right now being held by Bobby Frazier. Jacob Thibodeau, Johnny Gardner battling back there for 6th to see who's going to be the one to get up there and challenge the 20. Bobby Frazier's teammate, Eli Bright, right there as well in the 0-2. Thibodeau clears for 6th, now sets his sights on Bobby Frazier. As soon as I say that, Johnny Gardner challenges back to the bottom again. Carter Friesen finished, I believe it was either 12th or 13th in the 2nd heat race. Came up just short. Eli Bright came up just short in the 1st heat race. And how about the 2 drivers that finished 11th in the first 2 heats? Well, the 2nd heat first loser was Samet Ozcan. Right now he's in 4th. Shane Lake just cracked the top 10, and Shane Lake finished half a truck length short of transferring in the 1st heat race. He's got Jessica Shelton right there with him. Shelton did not finish well in the 1st heat race and almost lost it off turn 4. Jay Jefferson now closing in for that spot. That's for 11th. Now, if Shane Lake were running here in the 1st heat race, he'd be okay. He's in that 10th spot. But remember, only 5 drivers transfer in these LCQs. So right now, Johnny Gardner is the marked man, with Bobby Frazier, Carter Friesen right behind him there, as well as Eli Bright. And Gardner opened up the door on the top side, so Bobby Frazier says, "Thank you very much. I'll slip on by and take the position." So now Frazier moves into the final transfer spot as we've got only a handful to go, about 5 laps remaining. Joshua Osborne just passed Freddie Soto for 2nd, and he's got thoughts about getting the race lead. How about this? Joshua Osborne's got himself a pretty fast truck. And the winner of this heat race would start 21st in the main event. At the line, 3 laps to go. Only a little less than 3/10 separation between the 13 and the 10, and Osborne is coming. He's able to run about a half groove lower than Garcia. He gets a good exit off the corner, and he is all over the back bumper with 2 laps to go. How much of a fight is Adam Garcia going to put up here? How much can he put up? Osborne's to his left rear quarter panel into 3. Can't tell if I'm hearing engines from the remainder of the field or... Oh, we got a car that wrecked. That was Zach Winkle down on the bottom of the track there heading into 1. The white flag was out, though. Remember, no cautions. Osborne with the lead. Joshua Osborne out of turn 4 is going to win the first LCQ. Adam Garcia 2nd. Soto 3rd. Ozcan 4th. And Carter Friesen got by for the final position. He will transfer in 5th. Another truck was down on the bottom of the track off the pace. It looked like it might have been the 0 of James Qualls. Someone's smoking coming pit road. That's the 5 of Winkle. Who was the other car that was down there on the bottom of the track, not able to get going? I think it was the 0, but maybe not. There's the 0 truck. I don't know if he was the one that wrecked or not. He finished 25th, so I'm assuming probably. And so we've got our 5 transfer drivers here from this heat, from this LCQ. Osborne, Garcia, Soto, Ozcan, and Friesen will start 21st through 25th in the main event. And from 6th on down, only 5 more limited spots remain available in the main event. Who's going to take them? The final LCQ coming up right after this. 21 drivers, 20 laps, 5 spots remain. Matt McIntyre on the pole for this one alongside of Bobby Frazier. Logan York and James Qualls make up row 2. Corey Williams completing your top 5. Green flag set to come out. 20 laps, no cautions. Who gets the final spots in the main event? We're about to find out. McIntyre to the lead, but for how long? Logan York drifts into the second spot. Ooh. Had to lift there, but got a good exit off the corner, and he's going to move to the bottom for the top position. Corey Williams going to follow in his tire tracks. He'll slide into second place. Remember, again, just like the LCQ race we just ran, only the top 5 transfer. Ryan Brommer now going to go for third. There's your 5th place driver right now. It's Bobby Frazier. Cole Deaver trying to take away the spot. Deaver getting a little loose off of turn 2. Saw James Qualls, Zach Winkle have issues back in the first LCQ, but they were still allowed to take part here in the second LCQ. Qualls right now in the 7th spot. Shelton right now in 8th. 9th place would be Daniel Voiles, and drifting all the way back to 10th was Vince Almariego. He dropped from 7th to 10th in that one lap, and Qualls just got maybe up into the wall because he lost a ton of momentum off turn 4. Right now, Cole Deaver, I believe, is in the final transfer spot of 5th. As Brommer almost got into Corey Williams, that killed his momentum. That opens the door for Deaver to take and make a move for that spot. And it looks like he will get it. Brommer now falls back into 5th. Or no, I'm sorry, that was a battle for 3rd. This is a battle for the transfer spot right now. Shelton taking the 5th position away from Matt McIntyre, and now she's going to close up on Ryan Brommer. Ooh, got a little momentum loss there. She almost slid up into Brommer. Matt McIntyre loses some momentum behind her. The rear end of those cars, these trucks, want to come around off the exit of the corner. It's what dirt track racing is all about. Meanwhile, behind them, you've got Jesse Turner in the 89. First time we've mentioned his name tonight. He's in the 7th spot. Daniel Voiles right now in 8th. Qualls in 9th. Bobby Frazier in 10th. As you are watching the battle for the transfer position, the final transfer position, the battle for 5th. This is 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th you are seeing on your screen right now. Oh, Shelton keeps trying to make the move to the inside of Brommer. Can't do it, and that killed the momentum of Matt McIntyre. Now he's going to get a challenge for 6th from Jesse Turner, and Turner's going to take the spot. Shelton can get to Brommer's left rear quarter panel, but she can't make the pass off the corner. Corey Williams right now content to ride in the 3rd spot, as this is your battle for the race lead brewing. Logan York and Cole Deaver. Deaver closing in. He's only about 3/10 back. Let's see what the gap is off the corner this time. Oh, he's closer than that now. No, it's about the same, actually. I don't know why, but like two truck lengths looks like it would be a lot less than 3/10 of a second, but ticker doesn't lie, I guess. This time by, still just about the same, a little under 3/10. Shelton in that 5th spot. Now it's Jesse Turner making a challenge, and they are 3 wide behind him. That is Jay Jefferson, Vince Almariego, Matt McIntyre, Charles Belding all in a fight. This is from 7th on back. Almariego is going to move into P7, Belding into the 8th spot. And Jesse Turner just got around Jessica Shelton for 5th. Now he sets his sights on his Thor Motorsports teammate, Ryan Brommer. So far in this race, at least 2 to my knowledge of the Thor Sport trucks have transferred in, both in the last LCQ, Freddie Soto in the 99 and Adam Garcia in the 13. The 88 The 89 and the 27, I believe, are all in this LCQ race. Laps are winding down. Cole Deaver says it's go time. He wants to start 26th for the main event, and he will easily take the lead away from Logan York. So new leader Cole Deaver. And Corey Williams may have some company. He's riding in third, but fourth and fifth are not too far behind him. And this is a battle now for the fourth position as Shelton's trying to close back in. Chance of the final transfer spot slipping away from her because there is a total now of 3 laps to go. Jesse Turner's going to move to fourth. That drops Brommer back to fifth. Now Brommer has to hope that these drivers behind him don't catch up. Shelton, Jefferson right now in 6th and 7th. If they battle amongst themselves, that's going to allow Ryan Brommer to open up some distance. About nearly a second from 5th back to 6th place right now. Austin LaPlante trying to fight his way back up again. He's in the 8th spot with Belding in 9th and a battle for 10th between Voiles and Miles, but really it's not going to count for anything. That's Cole Deaver through 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to transfer into the main event. He wins the second LCQ. Logan York second, Williams third, Turner fourth, and Brommer gets the final transfer spot in 5th place. And everybody else from 6th on down will not transfer into the main event, and don't know if that was a friendly little nudge or not between teammates there, Brommer and Turner. We already saw Kyle Matthews and William Brock get into it in the first LCQ race. Or no, that wasn't the first LCQ, that was the second heat race. So Cole Deaver will start 26th for the main event. Logan York 27th. Corey Williams 28th. 29th will be Jesse Turner, and Ryan Brommer will start in the 30th and final spot in the main event race. So drivers who DNQ'd the Mudsummer Classic include Jay Jefferson, Jessica Shelton, Austin LaPlante, Charles Belding, Benjamin Miles, Trey Wright, Daniel Voiles, Eli Bright, Vince Almriego, Shane Lake, Matt McIntyre, James Qualls, Johnny Gardner, Bobby Frazier, Zach Winkle, and Jacob Thibodeau. So the lineup for the Mudsummer Classic is set, and that Mudsummer Classic will be coming to you later on this evening, so you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a wild race, going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully it's going to be a lot of passing through the field. We had some good battles in the LCQs. I don't know why the LCQs seem to be much better racing than the heat races themselves. But you know what? Hopefully it improves and will only get better when we get to the main event race. But until then, thank you all for tuning into the qualifying races here for the NNSCRA Mudsummer Classic of 2019. If you enjoyed all of these qualifying races, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. We'll see you later on tonight for the Mudsummer Classic main event. Until then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.